What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Figure I'd come out here and sit out on my back porch and do another video today. This week we have a few things to unpack. First thing I'm going to talk about is I saw the new Batman trailer. I don't know. I didn't really care for the voice of the Riddler. It just didn't sound right to me. I don't know. Like I pictured in my head. I don't know. The voice, whoever's voice that is, it didn't sound right to me. It's sinister enough, you know. I guess it's the Penguin. I guess he's playing the Penguin. Colin Farrell's supposed to play the Penguin. I don't know if they did him a little too much, like too much makeup or something. Not really sure he's going to fit that part very well. We'll see. There's just a lot of movies I've seen Colin Farrell in that I'm just not a real big fan of his. I don't like the fact I don't like gender swapping, and I don't like racial swapping when it's iconic, established characters. You just don't do that. And they kind of went ahead and did it with this, with Jim Gordon. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be completely 100% on board with that. I mean, Jim Gordon is a established, iconic character. Everybody knows he's white. Batwoman, I'm not really... I could care less. They've tried to claim that, it's not the same person always who's Batwoman, so there's been multiple Batwomen, or not Batwomen, sorry, Catwomen. So the whole race swapping Catwoman, it's been done before. But that's how they explain it. There's been multiple Catwomen. It's not always the same person who's Catwoman. Whatever. They kind of made, when he takes off the mask, you see one scene where he takes off the mask and he's got the black makeup over his eyes. I get that, having the black around the eyes, but when they do that, he almost looks like the Crow. To me, anyway. He's really pale, and he's got the short hair, so it came off looking like the Crow to me. And there's a couple of scenes that they show in the trailer where you see him that way. He looks like the Crow. He don't look like Batman. So I don't know. I'm really on the fence about this movie. I don't know if it's going to be really good or if it's going to be really bad, but it's going to go one way or the other. It'll be surprising, really surprising, and I'll eat my words when it comes out. If I watch it and I say, hey man, this is actually not half a badass movie. But the problem I have with it mainly is the story. The story sounds like shit. It doesn't sound good at all. So I'm afraid that that's really what's going to kill this movie. We'll see. I can't get a definite yes or no on it until I've seen the movie. But the trailer looks decent, but there are just a few parts in it that just weren't quite right. Alright, moving on. I just got done watching, not too long ago, the second season of Stargirl, and I really do not know why I keep watching this show. Well, actually, I do. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of Luke Wilson, for one. He's really the only reason why I even bothered to watch the show to begin with. I am not a big fan of Stargirl at all, especially with the comics and crap. Never have been. I didn't really know much about her. However, the villains in this show, they kill it. The villains are badass. I love the villains. They are what makes this show. The stupid teeny boppers who are trying to pretend to be the social justice society, it's just dumb. It's retarded. They all act like little brats, and it's just terrible. They need adults to play these parts, not these little teeny boppers who think they know everything. It's just dumb. They don't listen to Pat or the shit, which is Luke Wilson's character, you know. He plays Strike or Pat, whichever persona you want to go with. But they don't listen to him at all. He tries to help them, guide him, but they literally just give him big FU all the time and do what they want. And then, you know, surprisingly, they end up, you know, winning the day. You know, it's just whatever, you know, it's just dumb. But the villains, it's the only reason why I'm watching the show is the villains. They are killing it. And if they do season 3, I hope they bring back the Wizard. Honestly, I was really looking forward to seeing the Wizard do some shit. Instead of killing them off right off the bat. That really kind of irritated me. It sounds like they're bringing in, I think they call him the Shade. So he's supposed to be a real badass. So I'm waiting to see what they do with him. And I think, don't quote me in this, I just have, you know, a gut feeling that her stepbrother, or the little boy, he's going to get the purple pin, and he's going to become the new whatever, Lightning, Johnny Lightning, or whatever the hell his name is, you know, the Wish Master. He's going to become the new Wish Master. He's going to get a hold of the genie and be able to wish for shit. I think that's what's going to happen. That's what they're leading to, is the boys, because there really isn't any reason for him to be in the show. You know, not really. I mean, he knows everything, but whoop-de-freaking do, you know. But I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to become the new Wish Master. Other than that, Stargirl Season 2, it was okay. But like I said, it's the villains that killed it. So that's the only reason to watch it. Don't watch it because of the, you know, the social justice society members, the teeny boppers. That shit it's dumb, ignorant. You won't like it, I promise. Let's move on. The next thing I wanted to talk about before we get to your B-movie reviews is I just got done watching also another show that I've been keeping up on, NOS4A2. It has I can't think of his last name, Zach whatever. He's the one who played the new Spock in the new movies. He played in Heroes as the bad guy, the serial killer guy or whatever. Good actor. He's kind of like this, almost a vampire. They call him a wraith, though. but I just got done watching the second season of that, NOS4A2, and it's actually really good. I love this show. It's badass, even though it has some I don't know. They kind of make McQueen, which is the main character, she's really fucked up and shit. And her friends, like this lesbian chick she's really fucked in the head too. I don't know, it's really kind of strange, their partnership. But other than that, the rest of the story and everything, it's really good. And I like the way they left it off. I'm hoping they'll come out with the season 3. We'll see. But they made it to where Millie, which is Max, which is, or Minx, or whatever his name, Manx, Mr. Manx, or Minx, or whatever, his kid, Millie, she's the only one that they have these ornaments that like trap their souls. She's the only one who kept the ornament and didn't break it to release her soul. So she's still kind of evil in a way. And they left it off to where she's still running around and she wants to get everything back together again. So, and no one, well, they claim they burnt, or spoiler alert, they claim that they cremated Charlie Mink's body or whatever. I don't know. We'll see about that. But yeah, they kind of left it off. And the boy, the McQueen boy, the Bruce McQueen, or Bats, or whatever you want to call him, he knows about Millie and he wants to help her. So we'll see. We'll see if they come out with a season 3. If they try to bring back Christmas Land and stuff. The fact that she's out there and still killing and shit, you know, but she won't kill him. They're like buddies, pals. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I hope they come out with another one. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I have for you as far as the news goes, and we'll let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, movie holics, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. This week is Fantasy Week. I got 2 fantasy movies. Although it's a little bit different in the fantasy genre. I've done some Kung Fu fantasy before, martial arts type fantasy. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is Caveman. Couple caveman type movies. They're basically termed as fantasy movies, which they basically are. They're fiction, so but done in, you know, as the caveman era, you know, millions of years or thousands of years, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. The first one we're going to talk about, it's called Clan of the Cave Bear, and it was done in 1986. It didn't do so well at the box office. It actually only made about 2 million worldwide, so it really wasn't that much of a big hit. But I remember there being quite a bit of hype about this when it first came out, so I don't understand why it didn't make so much. But it starred Daryl Hannah. I'm not sure if you remember her. She was a model actress back in the 80s. It also had Thomas Waits in it. Basically, the story is Daryl Hannah. She plays this girl named Ayla. And you don't have any English really in this movie. It's mainly like grunts, and they'll say their names and stuff, and they'll say something, and then you'll have like a subtitle. It's a lot of sign language too. Anyways, Daryl Hannah plays this little girl named Ayla, which a group of Cro-Magnons find her after her mother is killed in like some type of earthquake or something. And she's been scarred by like a mountain lion or something. It's scarred her, made 3 claw marks across her leg or whatever. When this group finds her, Cro-Magnons, they're looking for a cave, and she basically helps them find a cave as this little bitty girl. As time goes by, she grows up with the Cro-Magnons in this cave. They found a old bear skull inside the cave, so that's why they call themselves the clan of the Cave Bear. Anyway, 2 of them adopt Ayla, basically. And one's a medicine woman, and the guy, he's kind of like the spiritual leader of the group. They kind of become her parents. Now, as she grows up, there's another boy that's a little bit older than her, named Brood. And he's supposed to be next in line to become the leader of the clan. He puts her through a bunch of crap, constantly picking on her and stuff, because she's not Cro-Magnon. They call Homo sapiens the others, because she's a Homo sapien, not a Cro-Magnon. Anyways, he does a lot of crap to her. He rapes her and everything else. Anyways, they have this law where the women cannot touch weapons. She watches the men playing with a slingshot, practicing or whatever how to use a slingshot. She picks one up after they leave in this forest clearing where they were practicing. She picks one up and takes it with her, basically steals it. And she eventually starts practicing on her own. She also finds a hidden cave, a smaller cave away from the main cave. She eventually helps save a little girl from like a pack of wolves with the slingshot, killing the wolf, and the entire clan witnesses it. And it's, like I said, it's forbidden to touch the weapons. So the clan usually kills a woman for touching weapons, but in this case, since she saved a little girl, they banished her for a short amount of time. For like, I think it's months she's got to be away. Anyway, she pretty much survives even through this winter, harsh winter. And she comes back. She's got a baby now. They try to take the baby away, and Brood, he wants to take the baby away and all this other stuff once he becomes leader. He tries to fight Ayla, and then Ayla basically kicks his ass, and she decides it's basically time for her to leave and go out on her own. Her and her adopted father had some similar vision, whereas the lion, which is her spirit guide, and this bear, they follow the same path, and then eventually they split apart and go their separate ways. And she came to the conclusion after she beat Brood or whatever, it was time for her to leave. And so she does. And Brood's father makes it to where he's no longer leader. He makes someone else leader. And eventually she realizes her son will become the leader of the clan. So Ayla, or Daryl Hannah's character, basically leaves. That's the end of the movie. I didn't think it was all that bad of a movie, to be honest. It was alright, but I find, you know, I don't know, historical crap like that, especially, I know it's fiction, but, you know, like caveman type stuff, you know, I find that interesting. Dinosaurs, caveman, I like that stuff. Now, as far as the acting goes, the acting wasn't really bad. I mean, you had decent actors in it, so that wasn't bad. I definitely give that a solid 3. Special effects, I'm not sure, unless you count makeup, the clothing they wore, that kind of special effects. It seemed alright to me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like the greatest, you know, but other than that, you know, the special effects, makeup and crap like that, you know, the scenery, all that, it's I give it a 3 as well. It's not. It was decent for what it was made for, or that era or that time. You didn't see any dinosaurs. They didn't put like dinosaurs in there or anything like that. So, the story overall. The story really wasn't all that bad. I could see, you know, where they were going. Like she's from, you know, they're Cro-Magnons. She's a Homo sapien. I get where, you know, they would have problems or whatever, but you know, scientific research has shown that Cro-Magnons and Homo sapiens, a lot of times they got together and intermixed. So it wasn't impossible for that to happen. So that's why the story wasn't that bad. Her being a female and getting the hunter sign and her spirit and all that stuff, and her touching the weapons were forbidden for women. I get that too. It doesn't surprise me at all that would be like a clan law or some crap like that. Seems plausible to me. It's not, you know, not very far-fetched. So the story, I definitely give the story wasn't bad. I give it a solid 3. That too, it was decent. Overall, the movie, I want to give it a 4, but at the same time I can't quite give it a 4. I have to go with the 3. It was decent. And the reason why is because I think a lot why it didn't do so well at the box office is the simple fact that there really wasn't any English except for when they're, you know, calling each other by name. The rest of the time they were just saying, you know, made up words or whatever, and doing sign language. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm not a real big fan of having to read a bunch of subtitles myself. So I totally get it, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a decent movie. Definitely check it out if you get the chance. Uh, if you can deal with reading some subtitles. I actually give the movie 2 thumbs up. I recommend it. It was a decent movie for being about cavemen. Uh, the next movie I'm going to talk about is basically a comedy for the most part, but it also uh, was fantasy. It was done in 1981. It actually did not bad. It made about 16 million worldwide. For back then, that wasn't too shabby. That was all right. It starred Ringo Starr from the Beatles, Dennis Quaid, and Shelley Long. It was called Caveman. Basically, the whole story, it's real simple. Ringo Starr plays this, he plays the wimpy caveman who wants the hot chick, who's with the jock, the hot cheerleader that's with the big jock, the quarterback, that kind of thing. He wants the girl that the main leader of his group. He wants his girl. He has a crush on her, and he tried several times to try to get her to like him, but she's into the guy who has power, which is their main leader. So it doesn't go over well for him. Eventually, he eventually gets banished. He joins his buddy, which is Dennis Quaid. They call him Lars. They eventually run into Shelley Long and this older guy who's blind, and they kind of form a little group together. But eventually a bunch of other outcasts show up, and they form their own kind of like little tribe or whatever, and start helping each other out. At one point in time, Lana, which is I think they called him Groot, Groot or Grunt or something like that, which is the leader of the tribe that banished Ringo. That's his girlfriend, and Lana gets separated from them at one point in time. He tries to swoon her, but Shelley Long goes and tells Grunt what's going on, because Shelley Long has a crush on Ringo. So Grunt comes and not only takes Lana back, but takes all the other women too. And then the guys of Ringo's group, they get together and start making weapons and crap. And they go and they beat the crap out of Grunt and his group. And Ringo shows up, and they've always before ran away from like this giant lizard or whatever, and he figures out a way to tame him, and which eats Grunt. So that's the end of Grunt, and then Ringo basically becomes the leader of both tribes. He throws Lana at the end into a big pile of dino shit, and takes Shelley as his woman. This is a funny movie. It's pretty funny. It has some funny scenes. It's really campy and cheesy. Now, throughout the whole movie, they really do not speak a bit of English. It's all done on action and play on the words that they're saying. Well, like they're saying go-go and boo-boo and that kind of crap. Like friend, one means friend and stuff. There's an Oriental guy that shows up and he starts interpreting some of the stuff in English. He's the only time you're going to see in the movie he speaks English. But eventually he just gives up and starts speaking their, the silly nonsense words. But you understand what's going on when they're doing it. It's actually pretty good acting. The way you completely get what they're saying, even though they're not speaking English. So in that aspect, it was actually pretty decent. So first off, special effects are really cheesy, like the dinosaurs and stuff they show in this. I give it a 2 because there was a lot of claymation going on. It wasn't like the best, but it was enough to get by. But it wasn't excuse me, it wasn't trying to take itself seriously, so it was kind of comedical about the claymation lizards or dinosaurs. They were being goofy, cartoony-ish kind of. Yeah, it was done on purpose. So, but I give it a 2. It was enough to get by. The acting's solid. I definitely give this a straight up a 3. Definitely solid 3. Almost a 4. Not quite. It was definitely decent acting in this movie. Because you still knew what was going on, even though it was acting out the words and play on words kind of thing. It was really good. The story, well, it's a typical, boy has crush on hot girl. Hot girl really doesn't want anything to do with him because he's not, got money or power. And then, geeky girl likes the weak boy, that kind of thing. It's been done time and time again, but it's truthful. A lot of that's truthful. That's what happens. But the story was all right. I give it a 3. It was okay. It was decent. Overall, the movie I definitely give it a solid 4. It was pretty funny. It had some funny scenes in there. It was a good movie. It was fun to watch. I like that campy comedy stuff. But anyways, yeah, definitely a solid 4. I definitely recommend Caveman. Check that out. That is a really good movie. You'll definitely enjoy it. Alright, that's all I have for you this week. Until next week, if you have any comments on anything I mentioned before earlier in this video, please leave them down in the comment section. Any thoughts? And as far as any suggestions you might have, some movies I may have never heard about or seen that are actually gems, really good, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to them and reviewing them as soon as I can. Anyways, that's all. Like I said, that's all I have for you this week. Until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.